Good evening, this is Agent Lee with an evening update for Bitcoin. You know, when prices precision hit like this, there's a bit of luck in that too. I'll very frankly admit it. And it's not an everyday event to see prices adhere to the wave lines that you had forecasted. I myself am quite tickled to see it hugging the lines so closely. So let's take a look at this again. Not too much to update really. I was just going to do a post with an updated chart, but I wanted to share with you a couple of other scenarios that might be of interest and something to keep an eye out for. I had said this morning that this point could be a potential bottom, especially if we saw an impulse going up and breaching this neckline of the head and shoulders pattern. We can now remove that. Instead, prices went pretty closely to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was at around here when I posted the midday update, and since then it declined, touched pretty much where 5 is, and it bounced. What I want to do is go higher resolution on the bounce. Look at that. Precision hit. Boom. Right there. So far the bounce is very 3 wave-ish, which is very 4 wave-like. So I think you can go A, B, C. Actually, sorry, before that I want to look at wave 2. So look here, see, wave 2 was A, B, C. Okay, it was very a simple correction for white wave 2. Remember, there's a rule of alternation where if you have simple, wave 4 will be maybe a little bit more complex. So you might get A, B, and maybe a triangle, A, W, X, Y, and a triangle. Who knows? But the rule of alternation states that since this was a very simple flat, this could be a complex, or it could lead to a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, or you could do a channeling. But I think this might take a little more time than this. This was very quick, so this might linger a little bit more. And you could label it as A, B, C for wave 4. Okay. Like that. Now I said already in the high resolution, this bounce looked very 3 wave-ish. Let's take a look at the MACD. See, it's already topping. So here it bounced. And the only good thing here is MACD is showing lower low, while the price is showing, MACD is showing a higher low, price is showing a lower low from here to here. And that itself could be leading to this bounce. I don't think that's signaling a trend reversal, at least probably not yet. if it is signaling a trend reversal, let's move that here for a little while, then we need to see the first sign of a trend reversal, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and breach the line. You'll want to see this climbing higher and higher. I know eventually we'll be back at 7,200 or so, above this neckline of the head and shoulders pattern. Which is why I put a second bottom potential with 2 question marks here. The reason rationale was that as long as it's below A, it has a potential of being the bottom. But from the likes of the MACD that I'm seeing right now, I think this is going to roll over, which means ABC is more likely. Like that. The other thing that I'm liking about this is, come on, everything is happening within a trend line. Check this out. Okay, it's happening within a channel, not exactly parallel, but that's okay. So the other thing is I draw this white line here, and if this is going to be an impulse, it has to break this white line as a resistance, the channel resistance. It may briefly do so as part of the C of 4 and then come back down into it. Probably like this. Okay, so get rid of that, clean it up. Now I wanted to give a bigger picture daily chart look. See how this looks now. As an expanded flat, it can be complete. That's why I have put this as a second potential bottom. And when you zoom out into the daily, the way this measures would be very nice expanded flat as being potential. Oh geez, I got the wrong one again. A, B, C. And that's exactly what an expanded flat looks like. And to me, it's encouraging to see this up greening candle, because expanded pattern looks just like this. And that's what you're getting here, expanded flat. And if this is correct, then we should see this from here, anytime here, impulse up. Sorry. Like so. Hit a new all-time high. Okay. So it can be done anytime. Now if you go back to here, A, B, C. And you can say that the new way of counting, let me just move some of these waves aside so I can do a new wave type. Let's get rid of this neckline. We all know about that now. That we have A, B, and C needs to have 5 waves, right? And what we can say is it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is a potential that this could be done. And it is this scenario, ABC, that I'm showing right here. ABC as being, on a daily scale, looks very nicely well done and complete. So I'm making this a very close alternate. ABC. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to keep a close eye on this. So far it looks very 3-wave-ish. But if we actually see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll be ideal. So that's what I'll be keeping my eye on for the overnight. This is my very close alternate of ABC being done. And by the way, if it goes a little low, if it goes to 6100, that is a bit too low below the A for an expanded flat, though technically it'll still be correct. Therefore, I'm going to keep that still as my primary. Okay. My primary will still be around here, down here. Now it all depends how the overnight price goes, and if it impulses up, that'll be great. If it impulses up, we're going to see this on a daily scale. Now let's take a look at the daily MACD. Okay, we've seen this before. Draw this line. So we've got a broadening pattern in the MACD going on. And what I ideally would like to see is if this turn happens on the daily scale and that this bounce here turns out to be an impulse, then most likely on the MACD we're going to see this curl up overnight. If that happens, we're going to see it curling up. And that's going to curl up and start rising and hit the cycle up here, the upper trend line of the broadening pattern. Ideally, that's what I would like to see. Okay. Now here, I mean, if you don't call this a vertical phase, I don't know what else you call it on a daily scale. Okay? But I think what I'm saying is it can get more vertical than this. This is like near vertical. I'm talking we can go vertical, literally vertical. Okay, something like that. How high, I have not a clue. If I knew, I'd be having a crystal ball. But I think wave 5 could be very extended. That's why I'm calling it, have it go really vertical. And when it goes vertical like this, it's important to get out early. You can let the next guy have the rest of the couple thousand or whatever thousand that value might be. And they're going to have a big pile of profits and sit on it. But let's not go there too much yet. We need to first get rid of this. Now, here is the other longer term scenario that we could be thinking of. What is the first indication of a trend reversal? So let's say here, from here, we start seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not saying this is my primary count. I'm just putting it on the table because of this will be now my new tertiary count. I'm not saying I'm going bearish. But once you start seeing a newer lower low, like somewhere here. Okay. I mean, I think this is a very good support. It should bounce off this. That's why I have it at a 160-100. From here we should rise. But in the event the bounce is just a 3-wave bounce and it comes below it to a newer low, that's a very different story. Then most likely we'll put in a 5-wave down. And that means there's a trend reversal from up to down. But until we see that, we'll have to think, because if you look at it from here, I'm calling this P, but let's say this is the top 5. I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this 5-wave is a trend reversal. Boom. But right now, these 5 waves are fitting into the C wave, which always has 5 waves. And if this goes below 6100 to the mid 5000s, that's a very different story. Just from an outlook perspective, I wanted to share that. And in fact, it would be very interesting to see this go down a little more, bounce up here, and what do you have here? If this is a top, that would be a very fitting head and shoulders top. Okay? But right now, I see it as a correction. As an it looks very well and nice as an A, B, C. It fits very nice, A, B, C, like that. And that looks perfect. And it could be done right now. Depends on how this moves in an impulse or not. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I know I'm getting a lot of requests, and some of these requests are of coins that I might have done maybe the other day or 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And a lot of you know that probably, but when you see like a temporary dip in price, whatever, you emotionally begin to maybe panic, or you're wondering as to what's going on, so you need an update. So you need a shot of update. and all of those feelings can become a lot more manageable, and it'll go away once you start becoming more self-sufficient on your Elliott wave counts and your technical analysis. And if this is your first time ever doing it, I know it'll take a while. It'll take maybe 3 to 6 months for you to become proficient, or at least be able to just do some solo counts. And I'm already seeing some really good solo counts coming out from Solus Rex, Crypto Surf, and others are putting out really nice charts that are well labeled. And it's just a matter of practice. You have to be able to conceptually seed the waves before you even put the labels on. That'll be the ideal situation. And then see the pattern at the same time. That'll be really good for you to be able to get there. But it'll all take time and practice. So for those of you who have that emotional pull, a little bit of panic feeling, or a feeling of uneasiness, because I know, for example, some of you were being uneasy when you saw this. Remember this morning I said it could make one more lower low. Sure did. And some people are getting uneasy about that. Okay? And as an Elliottician or as a technical analyst who's able to do something, account on their own proficiently, this wouldn't worry you, because you know you have an alternate account to be able to cover that. It's an unusual event for you to be surprised as a technical analyst. This did not surprise me. You've known me. See, for those of you who have followed me for a while, I'm not an arrogant person. So all arrogance aside, this did not surprise me. Because I was immediately able to see, okay, I'm seeing a 3 here. This looks like a 3. It's not an impulse. So 3, 3, then next is going to be maybe an expanded. It just comes to you, a snapshot comes to you conceptually. And that's when you don't allow the emotion to get the best of you. And you don't go from euphoria to panic and back to euphoria and panic. When you see those kinds of episodes subsiding because you're doing better and better technical analysis, that's when you know you're improving. I'm always amazed by those pilots whose airplanes are crashing and they speak very calmly. And there's not even a iota sense of panic in their voice, knowing that probably the end is going to come. That is ultimate discipline. All right, let's see how the price action takes it tonight. Talk to you in the morning.